I was dragged off the set of my father's CNBC acquisition interview like a trespassing vagrant. My stepmother leaned toward the producer and whispered, "Security, please remove her immediately." 12 hours later, she was hammering on the reinforced glass of my sail-making shop. My mother passed away when I was 14, and my dad simply shut down. 8 months later, he married a woman who methodically scrubbed my mother from our history without ever raising her voice. The sewing machines disappeared. My mom's textile sketches were boxed up and dumped at a local thrift store. If I dared to complain, my stepmother offered a tight, artificial smile and said, "We must focus on tomorrow." Her own daughter slipped into my bedroom and my place in the family hierarchy like she possessed a VIP ticket. At holiday dinners, she was paraded around as the brilliant heir apparent, while I was casually introduced as Diane's kid. My father allowed it all to happen. Whenever the blatant favoritism became uncomfortable, he simply inspected the rim of his wine glass. I forged my own path anyway. I studied marine textiles and industrial rigging. I spent my days repairing heavy canvas sails and waterproof tarps in a freezing harbor in Portland, Maine. My family treated my career like a tragic joke. My stepsister once snickered to her country club friends, "She patches boat tents for a living." Everyone laughed. My dad remained dead silent. The most agonizing lie they told was the origin of the Apex weave, the revolutionary waterproof fabric that built my father's outdoor apparel empire. It was my mother's tireless invention, the breakthrough she ruined her eyesight perfecting. Yet, every single corporate prospectus credited my father's genius. Her name was erased. In mid-October, the ceiling of my apartment leaked, forcing me to unpack a sealed plastic bin of my mom's winter clothes. While drying her favorite heavy wool coat, I felt a hard lump inside the lining. I carefully sliced the seam and extracted a brass safety deposit box key and a faded index card with a routing number. The following Tuesday at 9:00 a.m., a bank manager in downtown Boston guided me into a private viewing room. Inside the rusted steel box was a stack of original, notarized patent filings from 1998, along with an ironclad corporate licensing agreement. My mother had patented the Apex weave under a blind trust. My dad's company was only legally leasing the rights. The bombshell clause? The lease automatically terminated the moment her only child turned 32. I had turned 32 6 weeks ago. I asked the bank's trust attorney, "Did my father sign this?" He pointed to a secondary endorsement page. My dad's signature was right there in black ink. I tried to give him a chance to come clean. I brought my father my mom's original silver tailoring shears, polished to a mirror shine. For a brief second, his breath hitched. Then my stepmother glided into the kitchen, holding a tablet. "Oh, more rusty antiques. We are strictly focused on the merger, dear." My dad instantly set the shears down and walked away. So I showed up at their massive corporate headquarters for the live television broadcast, scheduled to announce their $450 million buyout by a global athletic brand. I was sidelined behind a wall of lighting rigs. The CEO praised my dad's visionary fabric. My stepsister boasted about spearheading the upcoming global distribution. My mother was a ghost. I stepped forward into the peripheral camera view, holding the silver shears. My stepmother's eyes darted toward me. She leaned toward the producer and whispered, "Security, please remove her immediately." Next, she added, "Get her out of the shot before she ruins the broadcast." Two burly studio guards intercepted. My father stood 4 feet away, staring at his expensive shoes. One guard muttered, "You have to leave the premises, miss." I looked right at my father. "Your silence is going to cost you everything," I said. I walked to my truck, pulled out my laptop, and emailed the trust attorney. "Execute the termination." At exactly 4:15 p.m., while they were celebrating with champagne, the acquiring mega brand's legal team discovered the emergency injunction filed against the patents. The buyers froze the funds, halted the acquisition, and threatened a massive lawsuit for intellectual property fraud. My phone ignited with frantic voicemails. By 11:30 p.m., my father, stepmother, and stepsister were banging on my shop door. My stepmother pushed her way past the canvas rolls, her face red. "You are sabotaging this family's future," she screamed. I dropped the patent documents onto my cutting table. "I am claiming what my mother built," I replied coldly. Full story on the channel, link below.